What's going on, guys? CBC here. Today, showing a video of some matches that we were running in the new Challenger Discord group. So we run some fight nights, and this was the first fight night that I joined, just playing around with a lot of cool guys on the internet, and this Discord group was pretty awesome. We got a lot of matches in with this lobby group. In the beginning of the lobby group, there was a lot of disconnects. So some of these connections at first were a bit sketchy and whatnot, but looking at it right now, it started to smooth out. So some of the matches did look a bit more better to watch. And just taking a look at the Iron Man and Nova combo that I got going on, this is a team setup that I can confidently say that I'm both enjoying and I think has a lot of potential. I think this setup with Iron Man is pretty dirty and pretty cheap. I still got to get better at it because the Mega Man, he kind of gave me too much respect. He kind of sat there. He could have jumped and made it much more difficult for me to actually hit him, but ultimately he kind of stood still and made it easy for me. This guy I'm playing here right now, he's not afraid to attack me in any direction possible, and I gotta say, I mean, Ultron and Dormammu is a team that I really fear. This kind of team. This team, once you're on the defense, my god, is it hard to get off of it. So this is what I mean. I need to be able to, at least in my sense, get somebody grounded. So if I can get somebody grounded, hitting them with the Iron Man hyper, it makes it so easy for me to do any type of comp. But this team, my goodness, man, the moment you start having to defend attacks, you are going to get destroyed because of the amount of onslaught you take. So here, this is one of those matches where the more I'm using the Reality Stone, the more, like, it's kind of crazy to me. The more I use the Reality Stone, the better it's becoming. Like, I didn't actually even realize to the degree that of how good it can be. And you know, when you're in the air and the moment it hits, you even get a few frames where you can delay your tag in, and you can actually hit the opponent even after you hit him with the tag in, like just like that too. It's such a freebie, and one of those things that I'm mastering that actually make, in my opinion, Iron Man more appealing to me than Ultron is. So I did take this match. I'm hoping to get some more matches with the Alchemist because his team is quite dirty. I did get the upper hand on him on that time, but with these sets, I think one of the best things about these lobbies is the amount of teams that you end up playing, and that, I mean, you know, you want to prepare for a tournament. Starting online is one of the best places, but not just doing ranked matches when you can only do 1 or 2 matches. You want to legitimately get into the zone where you can actually go back to back to back to back to back with people, and not even, maybe you're not playing. And luckily, right there, he actually tipped into it. And if you're not playing, at least you could spectate, and the ability to spectate. And right there, actually, see, normally I wouldn't do that, but I did that because of 2 things. So 2 things happened right there. There was a lot of lag. I went straight into the hyper. But at the same time, one of the things that I love using about the Smart Mine is that when people think the combo gets extended and they don't realize that they're holding the tag button, because my Smart Mine hit Dante, he ended up wasting 2 meters tagging in Jeddah. So, or sorry, just vice versa, Jeddah tagging in Dante. So it's kind of one of those things that you pay attention to how to sneak things in, because people, well, legitimately don't expect it. And I don't blame them why they don't expect it, because nobody's using Iron Man. So, I mean, nobody's using half the cast, which is kind of sad. I guess that comes with the territory of a game not selling as well as they hoped. But, you know, although you get the free level 3, and something that I haven't been using, I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of think that with Reality Stone and certain other stones, well, maybe just Reality Stone for now, I don't know why they've given it just, okay, well, if you have the Reality Storm, or you use any stone for the stone, you get a free level 3. But how the hell do characters who don't have level 3 benefit from that? And so not everybody has level 3. Although most characters do. I'm literally trying to think right now who doesn't have a level 3. I don't think Spencer has a level 3. I don't think... actually, everybody playing right now has a level 3. Frank West, does he have a level 3? I don't think that Frank West has level 3 either in this game. But how do you compensate for... see, right there, this is a mistake. Well, I don't know why I went and did another Photon Cannon. I could have easily just did Reality Stone into the Photon Cannon to make my block go longer. And right there, that... oh god, Jeddah's dash is so good. It's one of those characters that it's just, the more creative characters they have like this in the game, actually the scarier the game becomes, because like those kind of dashes that they're really unpredictable, and although he's in the air, you can't actually you can't actually tell he's in the air. That's kind of what's amazing about it. That's why I love the character. I kind of wish that I had the patience to, well, not that I had the patience, but I kind of wish that I had a better ability to actually play the game where I can learn these kind of wacky characters. Now, this guy, now unfortunately when we were playing these matches, we did play more matches. I was hoping to get the best connection matches. I sort of felt bad at a certain time because, you know, this is just Marvel. If his team requires a good connection. Without a good connection, his team is not. Unfortunately, like, God help you if you don't have a good connection with a team that can't fly, because you just can't abuse the game. You can't abuse a system that requires just brain dead tactics. I kind of think of it like, well, not to damper on characters that don't have a dash, but it's just one thing I want you to watch. Look how much I carry Ryu. This is just the beginning of the onslaught he has to take, and so he just gets carried right again, and it's not gonna end anytime soon. So, but it's actually insane how much health Ryu still has. It still kills me because back in Mvci 2 and Mvci 3, my goodness, man, you get that assisted character, they're dead. If this was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ryu was going to be dead. I tried to do an uppercut there, it didn't work. Some of these things that look a little bit funny in this match, especially on his, he unfortunately, with the connection not being as good as he wanted it to be, unfortunately he did a lot of drop combos, which I guess I shouldn't complain because it was in my benefit. But it was good, and here, I don't know, I think he should have elected to actually use Ryu to do... well, then again, I don't think Ryu can actually shoot the hyper down, but hitting the assist character, unless it's a long happy birthday, it's just not worth it. Just let it go. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think there's going to be better opportunities to actually utilize taking damage for the opposing character's assist. But I think when you think about it, you want to use it as a bait. If like I was beating on Ryu, I was never planning on doing a lot of damage on him. All I was planning on doing was waiting until Frank West moved. The moment Frank West moved, I wanted to tag in. That's kind of what I did. In that scenario, it worked out for me. Oftentimes, it won't. You leave yourself at a high risk because the opponent, if you're a player and you can just take the pride and realize that the damage your teammate is taking is nothing, and you don't be distracted by it, you're gonna be all right. That's kind of how it goes if you just don't get distracted by it. So more often than not, when I'm playing certain players of a high level, they know that. They know that, okay, well, sure, you can hit my assist character, they're not going to do anything. It's actually hard to predict how to counter that, because the more you're beating on the assist character, the reality is actually you're putting yourself at a greater risk, and it's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. So that's kind of the tag match you got to play, and just a guessing game. So another thing that I think this happens in fighting games specifically, not so much in other games that I've noticed, but in fighting games, is that I can tell after I beat somebody 1, 2, 3 times, after the third time, they begin respecting me. And you know, while it makes perfect sense why someone's respecting me and respecting anybody you respect when they beat you, but you don't want to give respect in a fighting game at all costs ever. You know, even if it's your best friend, when it comes to the fighting game, don't give respect, because at the end of the day, I think in a lot of matches that I noticed is that when I know I'm on a long win streak, so I was on a 10-game win streak. I don't know how to kind of remember most matches. Ultimately, people let me get away with murder at certain times because they're predicting and expecting, well, okay, if I get smacked with anything, the amount of damage I'm going to take is going to be so severe. So they try to play risk-free. And when you play risk-free and you try to do your safest options like that, see, I was never able to catch him in an unblockable until how many matches in? Well, that's because of the respect game. And I think that's one of the more important things to mention in fighting games, because respect can go a long way. And it's one thing to respect the player when the matches are done, but if you respect the player during the matches, you're basically giving up. And that's, unfortunately, in games like Marvel, that's really what it is. It's letting characters, one mistake can get so bad in Marvel. Now look, he's gonna have his character switch, but what if it goes wrong? This game is not as punishing as Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was, but it's still a Marvel game, and it is still a game that you will get severely punished if you let something get away. So that's how I look at it, and I hope some of my videos can give a couple of tips and help out anybody who's trying to find out what kind of characters they like and how they should approach the game. So they're trying my best to make this the best Nova and Iron Man team out there. I'm glad that the colors at least look similar, because that's a big thing too in this game. The colors gotta match. So hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more videos.